My name is Ted Wacker, and I'm an attorney here in Newport Beach, and I have my own law firm. I've been in practice now in the state of California for 30 years, and I started out doing some defense work, and then I worked for many years with one of the leading plaintiffs' attorneys in the country before opening up my own firm here about 7 years ago. We represented Mrs. Yee, who was injured as she went to church one Friday evening. She went to go park her car at the parking lot, and the two deacons of the church, who were basically acting as parking attendants, told her to wait there. The two deacons from the church began to close the gate. The track of the gate, which we later found out was damaged and defective and dangerous, essentially allowed the wheels of the gate to come off the track. And basically, when it came off the track, while they're closing it, it then fell on top of it. The church's coverage only extended to if there was an incident on the church property. Well, this incident happened across the street. And so the church's insurance through their landlord didn't cover this incident. We had them as a defendant. And then we also had the auto body repair shop as a defendant because there was this defective track. The problem with that is that the Korean auto body shop owner, they had only been leasing this property for some time. The building owner had owned this property for 30 years. And so you had all this finger pointing. Who's ultimately responsible for why this gate fell on this lady? But the biggest thing came when these two deacons lied under oath and said that this gate never fell on the lady. Well, that was just so untrue because of the 911 call, because of these guys lifting the gate off her, because the paramedics arrived, but also the photographs showed bruising to these areas. So the difficulty at trial was now, because of what these deacons and the church pastor and his wife did by lying about what happened, now in this story of what happened to her, the problem is they became the villains in the story because everybody knew that they were lying. And so from a jury standpoint, why wouldn't you put all the blame on the villain, the one that's clearly lying about what happened? Now, somehow I had to, in a way, still put responsibility on the Korean auto body shop, still put responsibility on the owner of that property, and somehow bring in what the villains of the story were doing, the deacons, the pastor, their lies, and place that somehow on those defendants. At the end of the day, when the case was tried in Alhambra, the jury found that that landlord was 35% responsible, that auto body shop owners were 15% responsible, and then the two deacons that worked for the church that caused the gate to come off the tracks as they were closing it were each 25% responsible. Overall, I was very happy with the result in this case, and thanks a lot to DK Global for painting this picture for the jury so they could really understand. DK Global I've worked with and used for many years since my days working at Mark Robinson's office, and they're easy to work with. Everybody there is very professional. They're very responsive, hardworking, and they really care. I mean, they care about your case, they care about you. Ultimately, the attorney's got to be the one to put this evidence in front of the jury and in front of the judge. It's got to be accurate. And I think DK goes that extra mile to make sure that what they're giving the attorney is as perfect as it can be.